Hello, and welcome back to Print Talk. I'm Neil, your host, and I'm here with my co-host, Kenneth. How's it going, Kenneth?
Hey, Neil, I'm doing great. Always excited to talk about 3D printing. How about you?
Same here. And today, we've got a really exciting topic to discuss, Prusa's brand new CoreXY printer. Ready to dive in?
I am so ready. This announcement has taken the 3D printing world by storm.
Yeah, the community is buzzing, and for good reason. We were looking at Prusa's official announcement today, plus we've got some interesting comments from the community.
Lots to unpack.
Absolutely. So to kick things off, why don't you give the rundown? What exactly is the CoreXY?
Okay, so in a nutshell, the CoreXY is a fully enclosed 3D printer built on the CoreXY framework.
Ooh, CoreXY. That's some serious tech right there.
Yeah, exactly. It's known for its speed and precision. You see, the print head moves on both the X and Y axis simultaneously.
I see. So it's like a super smooth, coordinated dance move for your print head.
That's a great way to put it. And this design choice is pretty significant because it translates to better print quality and faster printing speeds.
Gotcha. So it's not just about being enclosed. The way it moves is a big deal too. But with all this talk about enclosures, what about noise levels? Is that something the CoreXY addresses?
Yeah, that's a great question. A lot of people are curious about that, especially those printing at home, you know?
Absolutely. Makes sense.
While Prusa hasn't released specific data on noise levels yet, the fully enclosed design with the exoskeleton structure, I think that could contribute to quieter operation.
Okay, so maybe it's like having a soundproof booth for your printer.
Exactly.
I like it. So let's dive into some of the features that really make this printer stand out. This whole active temperature control thing has caught my eye, especially since it can print PLA and PTG with the doors closed.
Yeah, this is where it gets really interesting. A lot of enclosed printers, they require you to leave the doors open when printing with those materials, which kind of defeats the purpose of having an enclosure.
Yeah, totally. What's the point if you're not getting those benefits?
Right. But Prusa has incorporated something special here, drawing on their experience with industrial-grade printers. See, they've got dual fans at the back of the chamber that actively manage the temperature.
Okay, I'm listening.
So when you're printing PLA or PTG, these fans kick in, keep the temperature low for optimal print quality. But if you're working with, say, nylon, which needs a bit more heat, the chamber can actually heat up to 55 degrees Celsius.
Low. So it's like having a climate-controlled room just for your prints.
Exactly. It's really clever. They've thought this through. How to make this printer versatile, capable of working with a wide range of filaments, all within this controlled environment.
That's pretty impressive. Now, Prusa has always been known for making robust, well-built printers, but they seem to have gone even further with the CoreXY, talking about ease of maintenance and repair. What can you tell us about that?
Well, they've used laser-cut steel for the frame and carbon fiber-filled polycarbonate for the plastic parts. And honestly, that's not something you usually see in desktop 3D printers.
No, not at all. So it's built like a tank.
It is. But it's also lightweight. Plus, everything is connected with screws. So if you ever need to take it apart, for repairs or cleaning, it's easy. They even mentioned that the entire CoreXY gantry can be replaced in under 20 minutes.
Wow, under 20 minutes. That's incredible. They weren't kidding when they said they designed this for easy maintenance.
Not at all. It really highlights their focus on creating a printer that lasts and is user serviceable. I think anyone who's used the 3D printer before can appreciate that.
Absolutely. Speaking of appreciating a well-designed printer, let's talk print quality and speed. What makes the CoreXY stand out in those departments?
Okay, well, first of all, Prusa has equipped the CoreXY with their latest neck extruder, which, has a stellar reputation for precision. It has this 360-degree cooling system for overhangs, and a load cell sensor that basically guarantees a flawless first layer.
Okay, I'm intrigued. What's so special about this load cell sensor?
Well, unlike other bed leveling systems, it doesn't rely on visual data. Instead, it measures the pressure of the nozzle on the print bed.
Oh, I see. So it's not fooled by shiny surfaces or weird textures.
Exactly. It's much more reliable. In fact, Prusa claims that it can even print a perfect first layer on a piece of wood.
What? That's amazing. And what about speed?
Speed is another big win. It seems to be about 15-20% faster than the MK4S, depending on what you're printing. And here's the best part. This speed isn't limited to specific filaments. Like those high-speed filaments they sell?
Oh, right. So you're not sacrificing versatility for speed.
Nope. Prusa claims the CoreXY maintains that speed across a whole range of materials.
That's awesome. Okay, now for the fun part.
No.
The extras. Prusa has included a GPIO hacker board and an accelerometer. Now, you're the tech whiz. What's the big deal about these editions?
Well, these are basically like golden tickets for anyone who likes to tinker, customize their setup.
Yeah, I've seen the community lighting up with ideas already.
It's great. So the GPIO, or General Purpose Input-Output Module, it lets you connect and control external devices. You could do custom lighting setups, automated camera triggers, all sorts of things.
The possibilities are endless.
Right. And then the accelerometer, while maybe not essential for everyday printing, it opens up some really cool possibilities for fine-tuning your printer's performance, maybe even experimenting with custom print heads.
That's really cool. And let's not forget the accessories they've got planned.
Oh yeah, they've got a whole bunch of stuff in the works. HEPA and advanced filtration systems, a dry box for your filaments, and full compatibility with the MMU3 multi-material unit.
That MMU3 is like magic. Printing with multiple colors and materials from a single nozzle. I can't wait to see how that integrates with the Core One.
Me neither. And then, of course, there's the brand new Buddy 3D camera, specifically designed for print monitoring.
It's like having a live feed of your print right on your phone or computer.
Yeah, exactly. And they were really emphasizing the security aspect of it, saying they developed the firmware themselves to keep your data safe.
Yeah, it's great that they're being transparent about that and making it clear that you're never forced to connect your printer to the network. You can do everything offline if you prefer.
Right. They seem to be striking a good balance there, between connectivity and user privacy, which is a big deal for a lot of people these days. You have control over your data, but you can still use all the cool features.
Totally. Now, I know a lot of people with older Prusa printers are going to be wondering about upgrades. What's the deal there?
This is a big one. Prusa announced an MK4S to CoreXY conversion kit.
Hold on. So they're making it possible to basically transform your existing MK4S into a CoreXY.
Pretty much, which is huge in terms of sustainability and reducing waste. Instead of buying a whole new printer, you can just upgrade your MK4S.
That's brilliant. Prusa really is thinking ahead.
They are. And they've also made sure the CoreXY is backwards compatible with a lot of their existing components, like print sheets and nozzles.
Okay, so it's not just a great printer, it's a smart upgrade path, too. This really feels like a game changer.
I agree. I think Prusa has really hit it out of the park with this.
All right, so we've covered a lot of ground here, but before we get too carried away, let's check in with the 3D printing community. What are they saying about all of this?
The response has been overwhelmingly positive. People are excited about the features, the design, the upgrade path that Prusa has laid out.
That makes sense. There's a lot to be excited about.
Definitely. There's a lot of buzz about the GPIO and the accelerometer. People are already brainstorming all sorts of modifications and customizations. It's really cool to see that creativity.
Absolutely. But it's not all sunshine and rainbows. Are there any concerns or questions popping up?
Well, there's some curiosity about the noise levels, of course, and people are asking about the specifics of the upgrade path, how it works for older models, and then there are the usual questions about future accessories. Some people are also hoping for a larger build volume, similar to the Prusa XL.
Yeah, that's understandable, but it sounds like overall the community is pretty stoked.
Definitely. I think Prusa has really struck a chord with this one, combining cutting-edge tech with that user-centric approach they're known for.
It's a winning combination, that's for sure. Now, for those who are already deep in the 3D printing world, the CoreXY seems like a natural progression, right? Offering those advanced features and a whole new level of control.
Right. But I've also been thinking about where the CoreXY fits in for someone who's just starting out, Maybe dipping their toes into 3D printing.
Yeah, that's a good point. What are your thoughts?
Well, even for a beginner, I think the CoreXY is a great option. The plug-and-play setup, the user-friendly software, and the support that Prusa offers make it very accessible, even if you're completely new to 3D printing.
Plus, the enclosed design makes it safer and quieter, which is perfect for a home environment. And the fact that it's designed to grow with you. With all those upgrade options, you're not going to outgrow it anytime soon.
Exactly. It's an investment, in a hobby that can evolve with you. And with Prusa's reputation for quality and reliability, it's an investment that's likely to pay off for a long time.
I think that's a great way to put it. So whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out, the CoreXY seems to have something to offer.
Yeah.
And I'm curious to hear your perspective. What aspects of the CoreXY do you think have the potential to really shake things up, in the 3D printing world?
For me, it's that combination of features, the advanced features, the user-centric design, and Prusa's commitment to open source. and sustainability. It's a printer that's not just technologically impressive, but it also reflects a more conscious approach to technology, you know?
Yeah, I see what you mean. It's not just about the specs, it's about the philosophy behind it.
Exactly. And that, I think, is what makes the Core One so special. It's a printer that reflects a broader shift in how we think about and interact with technology. It's about empowering users, fostering creativity, and building a more sustainable future.
Those are some powerful ideas. Now, as we move into the next part of our deep dive, let's take a moment to really unpack what we've learned and consider the potential implications of the Core One for the future of 3D printing. Because I have a feeling this is just the tip of the iceberg.
I think you're right. You know, I've been thinking about the potential this has.
Oh, yeah.
For the Core One to bridge that gap, you know, between hobbyist and professional 3D printing.
You know, I've been thinking the same thing. It's like they've taken what used to be, you know, reserved for those high-end industrial machines and made it accessible to everyone, really.
Right. Think about it. Active chamber temperature control, that super precise extruder, and the robust CoreXY design. I mean, these are features professionals rely on.
Totally.
But now they're available in a package that, you know, makes sense for hobbyists, small businesses even.
I mean, like, it levels the playing field, right? Now anyone who's passionate about 3D printing can step up their game without breaking the bank.
Exactly. And don't forget about that MK4S upgrade path. All those existing Prusa owners out there, imagine them being able to just take their printers to a whole new level.
Oh yeah, they'll be experimenting with more advanced materials, tackling more complex projects. I mean, the possibilities are kind of endless.
It's like Prusa saying, here are the tools, go out there and create something amazing.
So inspiring. And speaking of empowerment, did you see the announcement about their updated warranty policy? The one regarding custom firmware.
Oh, yeah, that's huge.
This is big news, especially for the open source community. You know, it used to be that flashing custom firmware onto your Prusa printer would void your warranty. What changed?
Well, it seems like they're acknowledging something, that people want the freedom to experiment, you know, to contribute to the development of the platform. They're basically saying, we trust you. We want to support you. Be creative.
I love that. So are there any caveats?
Yeah, of course. They're still not going to be liable for any damage caused by custom firmware.
Makes sense.
But just the fact that they're not penalizing users for exploring those options, I think that's a big deal.
It is. It shows a real confidence in the users and the quality of the product, that they're not afraid of people tinkering.
Exactly. And it really speaks to the strength of the Prusa ecosystem as a whole.
Yeah.
Their printers have this reputation for being reliable, well documented, so they're confident that people can safely explore custom options.
This is a win-win, I think.
Yeah.
For everyone. Prusa gets to benefit from the creativity and ingenuity of their users, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the users, they get to personalize their experience, push the limits of what their printers can do.
It's the spirit of open source.
Huh?
And it's exciting to see a company like Prusa really embracing that. It's about collaboration, shared knowledge, moving technology forward together.
Okay, so we've talked a lot about the technical aspects of the Core One, but there's another theme that keeps popping up.
What's that?
That emphasis on the user experience.
Ah, yeah. That's something that's always set Prusa apart. They genuinely seem to care about making their printers, you know, accessible, user-friendly, just enjoyable to use.
Yeah, it's true. From the moment you unbox a Prusa printer, it's all about making the process as smooth and intuitive as possible. The setup, the documentation, their support is amazing. Even their software, it's all designed to create a really positive experience.
And it's clear that this resonates with their customers, you know? Prusa has built a community of loyal and enthusiastic users. And it's not just about buying a product, it's about being a part of something bigger.
It's like a movement.
It is a community of makers, innovators, people who are passionate about 3D printing.
People who are excited to see where the technology can go.
Yeah, exactly. And the Core One, with everything it offers, all its potential, it's like a symbol of that ambition, this shared ambition.
It's a printer that's designed to inspire, to empower people, to create, I don't know, the future of 3D printing.
I like that.
And as we wrap up this part of our deep dive, I want to flip the script a little. I'm curious, what about you? What really stands out to you about the Core One? What are you most excited about?
Honestly, it's everything. The features, the design, the whole open source sustainability angle. It's a printer that ticks all the boxes for me.
I hear you.
It's technologically impressive, but it also aligns with my values. As a maker, a tech enthusiast, it's a printer that really makes me excited about what the future holds for 3D printing.
I couldn't have said it better myself. And for our listeners out there, I want to pose this question to you. Think about everything we've discussed. The technology, the potential, all of it.
Yeah.
How do you see the Core 1 fitting into your 3D printing journey?
Maybe it's sparking an idea for a new project, or makes you want to try out different materials, or maybe even inspires you to, really delve into that world of customization.
Whatever it may be, don't be afraid to dive in and explore. The world of 3D printing is vast, and it's constantly evolving, and there's a place for everyone. And we'll be here with you every step of the way, breaking down the latest developments, having some fun along the way.
Sounds good.
So for this last part of our deep dive, let's shift gears a bit and talk about the bigger picture. We've talked about the technical details, the community response, but what about the long-term implications? What could the Core 1 mean for the future of 3D printing as a whole?
Okay, so let's step back for a second. Big picture time.
Okay.
We've talked about the Core 1's features, the tech, the community response, even Prusa's philosophy. But what does it all mean? What could this printer tell us about the future of 3D printing as a whole?
It's like Prusa dropped a pebble in a pond, and now we're watching the ripples. I think this printer could be a catalyst for a lot of change, both in how 3D printing is used and who's using it.
Interesting. Give me an example. What kind of changes are we talking about?
Well, for one, think about accessibility. The Core 1 seems to strike a balance between those professional-grade features and a price point that, more people can actually afford.
That makes sense. And I think that could open up 3D printing to a whole new wave of users and applications.
So we're not just talking about hobbyists and makers anymore. We're talking about maybe small businesses, schools, individuals even, who just want to explore their creative side.
Exactly. And as more people get their hands on this kind of technology, we're bound to see, just a surge in creativity, innovation. People will be pushing the limits, trying new things, coming up with applications we haven't even thought of yet.
I like it. But let's not forget about the existing 3D printing community. How do you think the Core 1 might impact them?
Well, I think for a lot of people, it's going to be inspiring to level up their skills, take on more challenging projects. That upgrade path, from the MK4S, the game changer. Imagine all those people converting their existing printers.
Okay.
And, experimenting with different materials, complex designs.
It's like Prusa saying, hey, let's push the boundaries together.
Exactly. And with that whole open source approach, they're really inviting the community to be a part of that journey. People are going to be modifying, tweaking, sharing their knowledge.
It'll be this ripple effect of innovation.
Yeah.
So it's not just about one printer. It's about a shift in the whole ecosystem.
Precisely. It was about that collaborative spirit, breaking down the barriers between professional and hobbyist, a more inclusive, accessible 3D printing world.
Now that brings us to the big question, the million-dollar question even. What's next? What does the future hold for 3D printing?
Well, if the Core 1 is any indication, the future's bright. We're going to see more powerful printers, more versatile materials, more user-friendly interfaces, and just a whole lot more creativity. I really think we're just scratching the surface here of what 3D printing can do.
It's so true. I mean, we might see 3D printing becoming more integrated into our lives, like personalized products, on-demand manufacturing, even 3D printed medical devices.
Yeah.
It's a technology with limitless potential. And it seems like companies like Prusa are leading the charge. With that commitment to innovation and quality and community, they're not just building printers, they're building the future. A future where anyone can create and innovate and bring their ideas to life.
Well said.
So to all our listeners out there, I want to leave you with this thought. What role do you see 3D printing playing in your future? Maybe it's a hobby, a career path, a way to solve problems, or just a way to express yourself.
Whatever it may be, don't be afraid to dive in. Explore the possibilities. The world of 3D printing is vast, and it's constantly evolving. There's definitely a place for everyone.
Couldn't agree more. And we'll be here every step of the way, breaking down all the latest developments, exploring those possibilities, and, having some fun along the way. So thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the Prusa Core 1.
Until next time, happy printing.